welcome back to Peterson Auto. I know it's been a little minute. I was really going for a video a week and had some stuff come up and I just didn't have the motivation. Still trying to get these bolts. Those have been taking a while, but we'll cover that later. So, Weatherpacks, right? We all seen them, we've all heard of them. Aftermarket uses them pretty heavily. OEMs, basically it's GM, but they use them pretty heavily. They're a cheap, sealed connection. Similar to Deutsch terminals. I like Deutsch a little better. But they're really expensive, and I can't always justify that cost. But I do have some crimpers here. We're going to go over Weatherpacks and some crimpers for them. So we got this nice fancy Blue Point kit. I just shelled out a whole bunch of money for this thing because I couldn't find these that were just laying in the toolbox where they should have been, slightly underneath something. But anyway, these are cheapo Amazon Weatherpack crimpers. You can see they have the gauge size on them. Kind of see the little like double, there you go, little double bump there. That's just how they crimp around, and we'll show you a little more of that later. These are non-ratcheting. You just squeeze until they're crimped. However, these are ratcheting, so they'll hit a limit and back. Once you get there, they release. If you need, you can go halfway. You know, you can go there. Oh, I need to reposition, and then get it the whole way. So ratcheting is nice. These also come with 4 different jaw sets for 4 different style terminals. They'll do your insulated and non-insulated, and then Weatherpack's an open barrel terminal. So these are your insulated terminals, your standard butt connector jaws. Which butt connectors, these really do come in handy a lot, and the jaws do interchange. They're nice. They're really nice. If you want to buy one set of pliers to do basically any terminals, these are the pliers for you. They do everything but the Deutsch terminals, so these are the ones you'd want. They're going to be the best option, but the cheapo option works too. However, for buying a set of these, set of insulated, set of non-insulated, you know, and everything this covers in a set of these, that would have been cheaper, believe it or not. So, yeah, so we have Weatherpack terminals, and another thing you grab whenever you're doing terminals is de-pinning tools. This is the cheapest set I could find on Amazon, believe it or not. I think they were like a whopping $8. All different sizes. The round ones are typical here of your Weatherpacks, but we have, you know, 2-prong. There's some 1-prong, some smaller round ones. They're not really color-coded or anything in any particular manner, but they do work. Modern connectors typically are something like, you use something like this and just get in there and pick up a tab. Really annoying. Hate modern electrical connectors. Normal Weatherpack de-pinning tool type of thing, or the slot de-pinning, so much better. But anyway, set of de-pinning tools is always a must-have when you're doing any kind of electrical work. So today we're going to use our new fancy crimpers to do some Weatherpack terminals for you on the 88 and show you how that works. But we're going to show you how this actually works. This is not going as I had expected. But first thing you do is you strip your wire based on your gauge. There we go. So we have it stripped. Give it a little twist just to give it some solid life to it. And you want to make sure you have the right kind of setup there. So I'll zoom in a bit. So you can see I have just enough to come out to the barrel. If it's a smaller wire, you could trim it a little long and put it in the barrel. But you want just to come to the actual barrel of the connector in all reality. Anything more than that's going to be too much. Now, Weatherpack has these little rubbers on them here. You can see. There we go. And they slide over the wire. Some people put them on before they strip. I put them on after just because it's a habit. I do have a wire that came back because I didn't twist that good enough. So we'll pull out, retwist it, remove the little rubber right to the end of the insulation there. I'm going to show you these crimpers right now. They are a 2-stage crimper. There we go. So you can see they have different sizes on them. To be honest with you, these are cheap and they're not labeled very well. The sizes on there work for the first part of the crimp, but not the second. So when you look closely here, you're going to see those 4 tabs are going to go around the wire, and those 2 go around the little rubber insulator. Not insulator, actually, it's more of a just a seal. So based on the terminal size, not necessarily the wire size, but the terminal size, you're going to pick what you have here. These are all 14/16. So when you put them in, the key is putting the little tabs towards the 2 bumps, as you can see there. So that's going to actually fold the tabs over when you crimp it. Typically I'll assemble the connector ahead of time and then put it in the crimper, but we're doing it this way today. Make sure you're centered and straight, and then give it a crimp. And that feels like it's a little on the loose side to me, which I'm going to say yes, for sure it is. I thought they were 14/16, maybe they're 18/20s. There we go. I had a 18 I was in, so I want to be in this one. So actually you have to switch this one around now to get those little bumps to line up. There we go. Now, that's not even on there that well. Okay, but it's on there. We're going to actually go, let's see here, 20 to 24. Looks like our next one size-wise. So we're going to go that one. It really helps to know what size terminals you have with these, by the way. We haven't figured that out yet. That one's a little big still. But yeah, know what size terminals you have. It makes the crimping process a whole lot easier. That one is on there. Okay? So, looks like it would be... Okay, I need to use the 18/20. So these are actually smaller wire gauge terminals than I expected. Now the second stage is the rubber isolator here. I usually squeeze these tabs in just a hair because sometimes they're not perfect for getting everything to line up. So we're going to use what's 14/18 there for this one. Just because I know that one works offhand. You go here, give it a crimp, and there you go. Now you're attached. That's a very nice Weatherpack connector there. Very nice crimp. That's what you're expecting. And then you can just simply take it and put it into its respective hole in the device or connector, terminal connector you're using. Pretty sure that one's there. I'm going to check first. Yep. So this pink one is going to go right in here. Push it in. You heard that click. That's fully seated there. So these red wires are a little big, to be honest with you. I got to really finick with those connectors because they're too big for the connectors. But it will conduct, it will hold, and it'll work for now. Everything in this truck's been relayed and converted anyway, so it's not like we're going to have any super high loads going through here, ideally. But ideally you want to use the right connectors. It's a catch-22 situation, I know. For now, like I said, it'll work, it'll do. We're going to run with that and see how things go from here. So there's one of them. That's how you do a Weatherpack connector with the double crimp tool. Now we'll give you a quick rundown here with this other tool. So I have this one terminal here, just a little on the messed up side. If you look at the ratcheting tool now, that jaw has 2 different spots. So what that's for is, you see the wider spot is for the this other end. The wow, I am brain farting there. The wider spot is going to be for the rubber weatherproofing end. And this terminal is a little messed up, so it might not be a perfect crimp. But you got to put it in like, oh, there we go. You got to put it in like that with the wire coming out the wider spot. Line everything up. Now you can ratchet it down and hold it. Now, see, it's holding. It's holding. It's great. I don't have to, I can hold the tool with one hand and it'll hold that connector in there with just a little ratchet. But now we can go ahead, run it down, and crimp it. And you can see we're a little off. Like I said, this terminal's not the best. But you can see if you line it up properly, you're going to have it doing both at the same time. So it's going to do both the crimps on one on this. This has for some reason it has millimeters in there. I think it was a like 24 to 18 gauge, and then like 18 to 14 or something like that, and that's a 1012. But it has millimeters in there for some reason, so makes it a little confusing. Anyway, other than that though, it actually works out and it will crimp. I tested it out already. Just don't want to waste a lot of terminals. So there's a basic rundown of Weatherpack connectors, how to put them together, how to put them in. If you have any questions or comments, please leave the questions and comments. And thank you for watching. Peterson Auto.